Good afternoon and welcome to my presentation of my case study on digital literacy curriculum. My name is Shay McClellan and I thank you for your time. Just a little summary of the facts regarding the case study. The school is Triscuit Middle School. It's a 7th and 8th grade building made up of 650 students and about approximately 80 staff. This building is in the Rockford City School District in a large metropolitan area. The student population is 80% African American, 17% white, and 3% other. 65% of the students are on free reduced meals, and the majority of the staff are Caucasian. People involved in the case study: Kim, she's assistant principal for the last 5 years, knowledgeable in technology, known for being a technology geek. She's kind of the go-to person at the school when it comes to anything with technology. Staff members, most of them teach with the traditional lecture and paper pencil approach when it comes to assignments, assessments, and that type. And then the parents of the students, they display a lack of involvement in non-academic events and only participate about 25% of the time in conferences. So poor parent involvement, staff that really take the traditional approach to education, and an assistant principal who's very technology savvy and wants to implement technology-driven a curriculum. So what has happened? Kim has attempted to develop a technology-rich curriculum to teach digital literacy. The school has moved from a traditional schedule to a block schedule. That's something that Kim implemented so that there was more time to work on assessments and work on the student needs. And then Kim believes that this will promote the success and well-being of each student and adult in the building. What hasn't happened? To my knowledge, Kim did not seek input or help or buy-in from others. Not the staff, not the students, not even sure about other administration. And the plan design curriculum proved not to be successful for all students. Data-informed decisions. Kim utilized Kim utilized the current district data system and assessments and data to report results. This is where she got her findings, got her information. She did not utilize data to look at other options, and she did not utilize formal or informal cultural responsive assessments. Her focus was on the technology outcome only. Coherent instructional leadership. Evaluate. Did Kim evaluate the program? Yes, she evaluated the current system and the curriculum to be implemented through research and data analysis. Develop. Kim created assessments, curriculum, and technology-rich activities. Implement. Kim has not been able to implement the curriculum and technology yet due to the lack of support and buy-in. Promote. Kim has the ideas and knowledge to promote to change success. However, this hasn't occurred. Again, she doesn't have the support and the buy-in to be able to get to that point yet. Let me move this down here. Legal and ethical concerns. From what I can see and from what I know, I don't see any legal concerns. There was no, nobody was hurt in the process. There was no breach of contract that I'm aware of. Were there some ethical concerns? Sure. She did not involve others in the process, so it's something she's taken on and developed herself. We don't even know that she's had the approval or support of district leadership. She did not take cultural background or socioeconomic background of the students in consideration, so she's not looking at do they have the resources, the ability, to do this, and then her only focus was on the implementation of the technology. So, is this a legal or an ethical issue? Some would say it is. I think she's doing this with the right intentions, so I'm not sure how much of an ethical issue it is. I just think that she's taking the wrong approach, and she's only got a singular focus, and that's my biggest concern for Kim. So to find the problem, Kim utilized her knowledge and background in technology to develop a curriculum to increase assessment and academics for students. However, she developed this on her own and has not obtained any feedback or buy-in from teachers, students, or other stakeholders. Collect and analyze the data. So, Kim has received permission, or excuse me, so this is questions that I have. Where are we at with things? Has Kim received permission to develop the program from her principal or the district leaders? We have no knowledge of that. Has she gained buy-in or support from the teachers or parents? Not to my knowledge. How will changes to be rolled out to the students? How's this going to look? Is this something we're just going to throw out there, or are we going to make it a fun activity? What are we going to do to make this get the buy-in of everybody? Places. Is there a program similar to this in a comparable school that she can get feedback and support for implementation? How did another school roll this out? How were they effective? What did they do, and what can Kim take from them to utilize to make this an easier process? And then programs. How will this program support special education? Is there a differentiated curriculum instruction? How will it support ELL students? How will it provide enrichment for students that need that? Is there components that identify the different chair level of students? So are we going to reach students' needs at their level? Just how are we going to reach the different subcategories of students to make sure that we're meeting everybody's needs, and we're just not putting technology in front of students and not really focusing on what their individual needs are. Clarifying and prioritizing the problem. So students continue to present with low test scores. That's the main concern. The assistant principal has the ability to create change through a development of a digital literacy program. These are definitely through research and implementation proven to be successful. Teachers continue to use traditional teaching models, and then Kim needs to develop a plan to gain support and buy-in from the stakeholders. So here's the plan of action that I have. Excuse me. That I've developed. I would start by developing a focus group to evaluate and provide feedback on the curriculum that's developed. So Kim created this curriculum, but she did it on her own. So let's get some other people in there to look at it, evaluate it, provide feedback. What needs to be tweaked? What do we need to do to make it different? To change it? Where do we go from here? Then work with the academic coaches and the building leadership team to develop professional development for students and staff, or for staff on implementation. So once we start getting buy-in from staff, now let's teach them how to use it so that they have the knowledge. A lot of times teachers who are strictly doing the paper and pencil is because they're scared of the technology. They don't know how to use it. So we need to give them the skills and the tools to use it. Let's create a family night to roll out the new curriculum in digital literacy to families. Include a meal in this, because that's how you get families to come in to do family nights. A lot of times is you provide them a meal along with some activities and prizes that they can get for to bring in a better turnout. Maybe the prizes have something to do with the digital thing. What can we do? Who can we get to support this program to provide prizes? And then from there, we're going to develop a fun assembly to roll this out to the students so that they know about the change. It's not just something we're going to do, but we'll develop the process and started in the classrooms. Teachers, academic coaches, and administration will need to work together to develop accommodations for students that need the extra support and access to technology for students that don't have access. And the focus group that we talked about in the first step will continue to meet and evaluate the process and implementation just to make sure that we're covering everything along the way. Pros and cons. So pros to this, it allows plan allows feedback from stakeholders, provides multiple opportunities for others to learn and become engaged in the process, provides a different way to engage students in learning and improve assessment scores. That's data-driven. Research has shown that the digital literacy and engaging the students through this has definitely improved assessment scores. The curriculum may allow for differentiated instruction. Assessments can show growth, and then able to work from the strengths perspective of the students instead of working from what they don't know. Cons: the curriculum was already developed without the input of others, does not address cultural issues that we can tell, parent engagement is already low and may not attend a family night, low socioeconomic students may not have access to internet or digital activities outside of school. Moving forward with the implementation of the plan, there's going to be some kickback. This is a second order change for staff. It's a new way of doing things, a new approach to education. Like I said, a lot of times when teachers don't embrace this type of thing, it's because they don't understand how to use the technology, how to implement the technology in the classroom. So we're really going to have to embrace this with them and help them, give them the tools they need, the education, the learning, the technology, so that they can be a part of this, so that they will accept it. New design. We're going to have to develop new designs of the classroom for students and staff to get the technology in the classroom, so it's not just a step forward, face front type of classroom. Lessons and activities will be more interactive and engaging for the students. Continue to educate on real world lessons such as technology. Technology's in our world today, whether we like it or not. So we got to get the students educated on how to use technology and use it responsibly. Differentiate instruction and then working from the strength perspective. Implementing. My first step would be make sure we have approval from the district leadership to move forward with the implementation. Then once approval is granted, develop a focus group to evaluate and provide feedback. The third step is, once a focus group has provided feedback and taken ownership, work with the group to implement on an implementation plan. Get them involved, how we implement this, how we roll this out to all the stakeholders. Should the district leadership team not approve the implementation, I would continue to work and advocate for the digital literacy curriculum, only because it's definitely something that's needed, it's something that's up and coming. If it's not already in the classrooms, which most of them are, but we definitely need to get this going, so we need to get the buy-in at the district level first and foremost. Correlation. Through my work in this module, I was able to take a close look at the case study, provide and evaluate the program that was developed by the assistant principal. Further, I was able to evaluate how to implement the program and evaluate the accessibility of services and cultural response that were to be a part of the curriculum. I was able to develop a plan for implementing and collaborating with stakeholders to ensure curriculum had an outreach needed to gain the success of students. This module was educational and a great learning opportunity for me to work through this scenario. Relevant. This module was relevant in my learning processes. It gave me the opportunity to evaluate the situation from a building leader's perspective and evaluate how I would handle the situation. I gained insight into how to implement curriculum and other second order change into an environment in which change is not willingly accepted. As a current member of the BLT and other leadership groups, this module has provided me great insight for my current position. This is stuff that we are working with in our building on a regular basis. How does this impact me as a future educational leader? Like I said, these are all things that are very important in my growth as an educational leader. Two areas that stand out to me as tasks that I definitely will have to embrace in the future. The first is provide great insight and thought into working with staff that are reluctant to change and how to get them to embrace that change, building those relationships with staff so that they're willing to take that chance, knowing that you're going to support them and be there to give them the tools they need. The second one is this module provided me great thought and insight into implementing a new curriculum and work that must be done behind the scenes and prior to implementation. Teachers a lot of times don't know what the principals are doing all day, but there's so much behind the scenes work that goes on in the summer, during, after school, and all the meetings that leadership is in to get things going. So this it was a great insight. As I continue on this journey through each module that I work through in this program, I feel that each step is a bit more preparation for my future as a building leader. So I appreciate all the work that was done through this course and through this program, and thank you for your time. Have a great day.